I have not had one of these in a very long time. I want to see if it still holds up taste-wise. I would actually prefer just a little bit less sugar, a little less sweet, and I think this would be perfect. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Justin, and today we're listening to Gordon Lightfoot with the song Canadian Railroad Trilogy. This is a recommendation by Dukes Rocks. Dukes Rocks, if I had a guitar and I knew how to play it, I would do the wah, Dukes Rocks, or something like that. I'm not sure exactly. The name Gordon Lightfoot sounds familiar, but I cannot say that I've heard anything from him. So I just happened to look at the information for the track because it was apparently on there's two versions of it. I guess one of the original and then one he had re-recorded for his compilation album Gord's Gold with a full orchestra. I don't know which one to choose, but I feel like I should just stick with the original since, you know, it's the original. I hope that you guys are having an amazing day. You can join me on Twitter. You can join me in the comments down below if it's your first time here on the channel. Hello there. How are you doing today? Hope it's great. Let's do it. This is Canadian Railroad Trilogy by Gordon Lightfoot.
There was a time in this fair land when the railroad did not run, when the wild majestic mountains stood alone against the sun. Long before the white man and long bore the wheel, when the green dark forest was too silent to be real. But time has no beginnings and the history has no bounds. As to this verdant country they came from all around. They sailed upon her waterways and they walked the forest tall, built the mines, mills, and the factories for the good of us all. And when the young man's fancy was turning to the spring, the railroad men grew restless for to hear the hammers ring. Their minds were overflowing with the visions of their day, and many a fortune lost and won, and many a debt to pay. For they looked in the future, and what did they see? They saw an iron road running from the sea to the sea, bringing the goods to the young growing land, all up from the seaport, sent into their hands. Look away, said they, across this mighty land, from the eastern shore to the western strand, bringing the workers and bring up the rails. We gotta lay down the tracks and tear up the trails. Open their heart, let the lifeblood flow. Gotta get on our way 'cause we're moving too slow. Bringing the workers and bring up the rails. We're gonna lay down the tracks and tear up the trails. Open their heart, let the lifeblood flow. Gotta get on our way 'cause we're moving too slow. Get on our way 'cause we're moving too slow. Behind the blue Rockies the sun is declining. The stars they come stealing at the close of the day. Across the wide prairie our loved ones lie sleeping. Beyond the dark oceans in a place far away, we are the navvies who work upon the railway, swinging our hammers in the bright blazing sun, living on stew and drinking bad whiskey. bending our backs till the long days are done. We are the navvies who work upon the railway, swinging our hammers in the bright blazing sun, laying down track and building the bridges, bending our backs till the railroad is done. So over the mountains and over the plains, into the muskeg and into the rain, up to St. Lawrence all the way to Gaspé, swinging our hammers and drawing our pay, laying them in and tying them down, away to the bunkhouse and into the town. $1 a day and a place for my head, a drink to the living, a toast to the dead. Oh, the song of the future has been sung, all the battles have been won, on the mountain tops we stand, all the world at our command. We have opened up the soil with our teardrops and our toil. Oh, there was a time in this fair land when the railroad did not run, when the wild majestic mountains stood alone against the sun, long before the white man and long before the wheel, when the green dark forest was too silent to be real, when the green dark forest was too silent to be real, and many are the dead men too silent to be real.
That was amazing. That was really good. There are so many little things to pick apart in this. This feels like a classic song. I know the word gets tossed around sometimes, but is this like a classic song? And I'm just missing out? I mean, I'm missing out on a lot of things, but... First off, I have to absolutely start with the guitar work. The guitar playing... Just saying. Gordon Lightfoot and Red Shea, it looks like, are the guitarist. Wow. I don't know who's doing what or whatever, but the guitar playing, no doubt, is, like, to me, the highlight of this thing. There's a lot of flares thrown in there. There's a lot of, like, little glimmers and embellishes in the playing. And it just sounds so cool because you get the main rhythm, but then every once in a while, like, you can hear in the back, like, something, like, a little complicated is going on. Now, I'm not a guitar player, so I don't really know, but from what I'm hearing, there's some, like, deep talent in there. Oh, and that bass, the groove that the bass finds itself in, bass by John Stockfish, oh, he finds his pocket, he finds his groove, and he just dances in it. Listen to the picking in the back on the guitar when it speeds up right there. There's some beautiful melodies in this. This is like a perfect campfire song. And this is great, like, just campfire music. Like, you know, this is the type of music that, like, you imagine yourself or you find yourself sitting under the stars in the woods, camping, perhaps even taking you back to camping with your parents, or perhaps now camping with your kids and your grandkids. And Gordon's voice is the absolute perfect voice, perfect companion to be with you on this song as he takes you through the history, the story, and the journey of these railroad workers. And you guys know I love story, I love music, but I love when story and music come together. So there's a lot of speed ups and slowdowns throughout the song, which I find really cool and really well done. But the one that caught my attention the most was when it first really pulls everything back and slows it down. Right here.
Behind the blue Rockies declining.
Come on, that's homegrown. That's deep in the heart, like homegrown kind of folk music. And I love the lyrics at that part because it goes from the working day, the day of toil and the day of being in the sun and like breaking your back building this railroad. It pulls it back for a second, and then it transitions from that day into night. The lyrics become behind the blue Rockies. The sun is declining, the stars they come stealing at the close of the day. Across the wide prairie, our loved ones lie sleeping beyond the dark oceans in a place far away. In fitting with the mood, now the song is pulled back from its energetic playing before and settles into something a lot more relaxing and a lot more thoughtful, a lot more self-reflective. And you can imagine the workers and Gordon Lightfoot as he sings, at the end of the day, they're just sleeping in their bunks, they're finally done, and they're tired. And what are they thinking about? Well, they're thinking about their families. They have the beautiful landscape of the Rockies. And the music, as it slows down, that's when the harmonica comes in. And the harmonica has this, it has the sound of friendly air. It has the sound of comfort. The distinction in its tone of longing for home. Man, the harmonica, when it comes in, absolutely just sweeps you away. And I love it. I absolutely love it. If I can kind of take this one section and I can put it into one word, it just feels cozy. And then the night is over. It ends. Beautiful. Starts to pick back up. As soon as that night of rest is done, it's back to work. It's a full-time job. And the lyrics, same thing, go right back to it. Swinging our hammers and drawing our pay, driving them and tying them down away to blah, like there's a fly, so I'm gesturing exaggeratedly. But the music is perfectly in line with the lyrics and the story. I absolutely love it. So the music is really good. I really like his voice too. Like I mentioned, it's just very, it's very comforting. I find the writing as well to be very, very standoutish in that it tells a very linear story. It tells the experiences of the railroad workers here, but the way that it does it can come across as too wordy, too many words in the verses, too many words in the delivery, just like too much. He does speed up the delivery, and in that way he can fit more words, and then he slows it down when he needs to so he can enunciate and draw attention to some specific lines or specific verses. And some of the lyrics have that, for lack of a better word, that very like down-to-earth and rustic kind of poetry feel to them. This feels like someone that was actually there working on the railroad, and them writing out their thoughts, them writing out what they see and what they feel and what they experience. I like the way that it ends as well, because he says, "For there was a time in this fair land when the railroad did not run, when the wild majestic mountains stood alone against the sun, long before the white man and long before the wheel, long the green dark forest was too silent to be real." As he's in this place working on this railroad, he's reflecting on what the surroundings used to be. Before the railroad is being built, before man was there, before really anyone was there, it was just nature in all of its peace and serenity and its beauty. And it's interesting when you kind of reflect on things like that and kind of think back to how things may have been, may have used to have been. And here it's taken on a bigger scale with the railroad and looking back on the mountains and the nature. But I'm sure a lot of us, looking back maybe where you used to live or where you live now several years ago, it probably looked a lot different. I know for myself, when I was a kid in my parents' house, like there were a lot of woods around, a lot of trees around. There was one road in, one road out. And there was a certain beauty to that. Of course, now it's like shopping mall, over construction and highways and all this other stuff. Yeah, this was really good. I really enjoyed this one. I would like to hear a little bit more from him. So Duke Strocks, thank you so much for the recommendation, as always. The rest of you, and I guess really everyone, you can join me on Twitter. You can join me in the comments down below. I want to know your thoughts on the song. I hope that you're having a great day as well. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.